Righto, Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, Volume 4. So I was quite quiet with Volume 3, only just showed a little bit in episodes, but I think I'll do this one on camera. So now I've got a stash of things. What I was thinking, now remember everyone, we did the tags with Anne and then we did tag roulette, and I'm looking at this thinking this is a little bit like how I might imagine the end result, something like this, maybe sideways, you can get it all in. I love this and I still haven't framed it. It has been up on my pin board, so it's going to be an inspiration for me. Most definitely. I think what I'll do is clear my pin board and start a new one. Probably time to do that. And one of my other inspirations was this little piece that I have talked about, or hang on, no, this video might go up before I talk about this. So I'm doing Roxy's weekly challenge. I've decided to film the bookmaking, so that's going to be Friday, Saturday of this week. So this will probably go up Thursday, I think. Don't quote me on it. Might end up being not till next Monday. I don't know. See how we go with the editing. So this is a bit of an inspiration. And I was thinking about how on this, I really loved using a sort of yellow buttons, my favourite, yellow buttons, and a bit of a yellows, rusty kind of palette, and I think I'm going to do similar but lean a little bit more towards the yellow. Who knows, we'll probably find that I won't do that, but gold is also something I'm thinking about. So with this in mind as possibly my focal piece, then I started to realise, oh, you know, treasures, well, I've still got this that I haven't framed. Maybe that'll fit on somewhere. So these are just ideas, because these are special to me because I've made them, so they were a bit of achievement. My stitch wheel, possibly. I'm actually thinking, I'm wondering if I'm making a large work again, like a wall hanging. Not as large as my last one, because it's really hard to find space to hang that, but possibly a larger piece, because I thought with the, you know, with the down the garden path, I went small, and I feel like I almost, I don't know, I kind of almost restricted myself a little bit, although it's okay because it's a challenge in itself, isn't it, when you do that. So let's have a look at some of the material. So I've just got some plainish material, and obviously I can just do, you know, I'll just do a backing. Some of these might just be backings. This is an old pillowcase that I've torn up. Now I'm loving the lime and the yellow in this. So already I'm not matching anything colour-wise. Oh well. And I loved this. It's like a chocolate brown, but it's got a hint of purple in it. So this also is informing my search for fabrics. So this edging came off this same pillowcase, and this is a nice, like it's a sort of a thick cotton. Nice. I've got this little scrap. I think this came from Sarah, when Sarah and I did a swap of little pieces, little things, but I've always just loved this. So this has got that yellow. I love sweet peas. Sweet peas are, oh, there you go. I better put that on my Roxy's. There's another flower I love. Oh gosh, too many flowers. So these might be too big, but I do think that this is quite indicative of the colour palette, these sort of yellows. So I might get a bird on or something, or just use it, you know, randomly, maybe an area like this in the background, just to give a hint of the colour. I would love to do the French General Blue, or use some of my red work. But I think other YouTubers are doing those colours, so it's going to be nice. Well, Christine is Create and Craft with Christine is going to definitely be doing one blue and one red. So I don't want to double up, because I think if you're viewing these, that, you know, maybe you like to see a different colour as well, even though I love the red work too. I recently got this one from Lisa Matic, and I just love it. So I think this, you know, it's got this yellowy colour in, but it is a bit of blue. So mine, it's just going to be a little bit eclectic, I think. I want to work in, of course, some of this. Might not even match. You know what? I'm going to make it match. I'm going to work out how to do this. Now, I was thinking of this little squirrel. No, I've decided not to. This little more squirrels and foxes. It's got the yellow in. However, I have still got this book cover that I wanted to use to complement. It's upside down. I wanted to use this to complement my winter journal, which was Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 2. This will be a spring-summer one, so I've still got this, so I might not use that. And I've still got the book with the pages in, ready to go to do that. I've got lots of projects. Short on time, not short on projects. Right, so I'm going to put that out the way. Now, this is special because it was Huss's bed sheet. Still fun. This came from Sarah as well. And did I dye that over the top? No, I didn't, but I'm going to put that in the background, because when people give you things, even if it's a swap, it's still very heartfelt. So, you know, that's special. It's not necessarily blending in with my colour palette at the moment, but it's all right to refine it as we go. So I have got a bit of this old upholstery material. Now this, I had a whole bag of, there's a pale creamy one and this, and I've just loved it because it's got the patterning on it. That's probably a better side to see it. So this is really good for backing. I use that in my slow stitch book, which went off to a lady in America, I think. Cute. And look, I just absolutely love some of these. So this, the gold, and this is sort of really, really what I should be trying to match. So this is an old tablecloth. Just beautiful. See if you see these all together. So yes, I'm just putting them together at the moment. I've got a bit more of that. I've still got some of this tablecloth that I use bits of because I just love this linen, and I love this edging. So I think that's going in. I don't know if I'll use, you know, like on my tag roulette, I did use part of this with the previous owner's embroidery, and that's special because some lady made it somewhere in Melbourne and then passed it on to her kids who sold it. This one came from, I've told the story before, but this one came from some girls around the corner. Their dad had passed away, and their mum had passed away a few years beforehand, and they had put on Facebook Marketplace this beautiful tablecloth, and their mum had been, so I'm in Glenroy, she was a seamstress for the whole Moonee Ponds area, and I think this was one of her pieces. Gorgeous. So that's special. That's special to me. This one came in the last stash that I made the kits up. I didn't put any of these in the kits, but because I particularly love this pale lemon. So I've got quite a few, you can already see. Now if I put this kind of in the middle over the top, I can see that this kind of blends with this, are we on camera, this deep purple colour. And I don't think I'll pull out the blues of this. I don't think I'll pull out the pinks, but it does have a little tiny bit of that red work. So I do have, I've got a little thing I've put together of notions. So I do have the odd little 1 or 2 pieces of the red work left, and they'll tie in. So we'll tie in with that. I think this is a bit too orange, but it might be a good contrast. I've got a little bit more of this tea towel left that, or was it a cushion or a pillowcase, but that orange. So there, that's a bit more coral than that. So a bit clashy, but maybe we'll get a good variety. This works well with that gold, and it'll work well with those backgrounds. So that's just a bit of ribbon off a blanket from the shop. Now, I've got little tiny bits of lace in this tub. I thought that this colour, Ric Rac, went really well, but maybe not the pink. Anyway, that's antique Ric Rac. Yummy. I've got a bit of this lace, and I've got some of this, these, I've used these before as pages in a little stitch book, like that. They're cute. All these little things, it's like, you know, if I put a little bit of this, it's a treasure, because I remember doing this. I remember making it, like, not making it, but I remember getting it from the shop out at Ballarat, actually. There's a big warehouse with all antique stuff and second stuff, and this was in there, in someone's little stall. So I remember the drive, and I remember doing it. So it's a treasure. And cutting out that little tablecloth, a bit of that left, because, you know, if this is one great big thing, there's lots of things on here that remind me of different aspects of all the crafting I've been doing for the last few years. So I always have a few seams. This is from this pillowcase. The seams have been sewn in a green, and on this the green is showing through, so I find that, you know, just a little portion of that will be great. Here's another seam from the same pillowcase, another seam from something else, another pillowcase which is orange, which will bring in if I use that. This might just be a little bit, I'm bordering on that, might be a bit corally, but I decided I don't want it to just all be one colour. I've got some of this beautiful edging, and I like that it's in a more neutral colour. Now, what else is in here? I've got a couple of little tiny scraps. So, as I say, Sarah and I swapped a little scrappy small bits. So I've put some of them aside. I think maybe not the blue. I think I might just put those in and not use the bit of material I showed before. One of Huss's shirts, so that's got the green. This will be whether I want to bring in some blue or not. Bit of this damask, which was from a napkin that one of the first slow stitch projects I used. I cut up a napkin, and this is a spare bit from that. So there you go. I've got some little almost pearl looking beads, so I've got that to match. And I saw this, and I've got a couple of these. I got them really cheap at the op shop, and they're the little purse handles, and I'm thinking something can be made from that. You know, aside from a purse. Oh, I just saw in my head the picture of what I'm going to do with that, and I'm not going to say it. You'll just have to follow along and see what we come up with. So there's plenty more things I can add to this, obviously. This was a bit of applique with Rachel. With Anne when we were doing the 52 tags. So I went on and made some little tiny reverse applique and applique pieces. So I want to put that in because that's a little reminder. So once again, I'm actually grabbing some blue, but it's got gold. And if you look at how I've done that, there may be a way I can do something, you know, with those, with these and this. Okay, so I also, it's like, it's not like using up your old junk. It's a memory board and a treasure board. And so these are the first two Cornish buttons. Is that? Yeah, Cornish buttons. Is that what they're called? Yorkshire buttons. Wrong part. Cornish, Yorkshire. Not that close. Anyway, these are my first two Yorkshire buttons I ever made. So once again, green and blue. And this is my template to make my Yorkshire button. Just cut it out of cardboard, 12 notches, do the clock 1 to 12. And that's how I did these two. The only other thing, I found this in my stash and I think I was going to do a couple of flowers along the row. So I'm actually thinking, take this off. I love these, you've got to really undo them to get them off because they've got that little lip which holds it in. It's fabulous. Love them. Should get some more of those actually. Alright, so it's got a little bit, let's have a look on this. Oh, sorry, bumped the camera. This has got a little bit of purple that'll tie in with this purple. It's not the same, you can see the difference, but this neutral colour in the background will blend. It's got, it might be the only thing with a bit of pink. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just messing around trying a flower. Maybe I'll just stick that on my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. Yes, all right, I'm going to do that because there's another flower. Just adding flowers left, right and centre. Okay, so I got these little buttons through the week because I was looking at, now I'll have to find the lady on Instagram and link her below. She makes a hoop and she just makes all buttons, but they're just absolutely gorgeous little designs, and I was particularly loving the little feather buttons, or little leaves or feathers, however you want to look at them. And I liked that there was this sort of reddy coral colour, and these beads are kind of, you know, they're like a little spinning top, their shape, and they've got different colours in there. And then we've got these little wheel type with a bit dark brown and then a vanilla. They're reminding me of biscuits. It's not lunchtime, I swear. All right, so that's also something that I'm thinking about using. And that's about really where I got to with this. So what I'm going to do is put this on a board, get a proper flat lay photo to print out and put up on my board, and put these aside while I finish my Roxy's Weekly Challenge videos and Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, the last volume, volume 3, before we start this one. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at all those. I have enjoyed having a little play and getting it all out. Oh, one more thing. Oh, we cannot forget this. I've got a little bit of French ticking coming from Lisa Maddox. So I think it's in a neutral sort of, you know, maybe this colour or a little bit more towards that colour. So that might go in too. But let's not forget this gorgeous little piece, which is an old children's, you know, neck piece on probably off a christening gown or something like that, that I got off Lisa Maddox as well. And I've never known what to do with this. So that's been waiting. So I'm going to put that on my mood board as well because it's got that yellow and it's just It's so delicate and fine, it probably deserves its own piece on its own, somehow. But it's still an inspiration, so I'm going to put that on the board too. Okay, all right, that's it. Oh, and don't forget, I love my little shirt buttonholes. So I've got one of those in here, if it goes with anything. No, that doesn't work, but it does go with that. So we'll see what happens. Put this here, isn't it? It's just gorgeous, isn't it? Look at this work. Tiny weeny little stitches, tiny weeny little circles, and circles for the flowers. Beautiful. And the edge, scalloped picot edge, so nice. All right, well, antique, contemporary. Let's see what happens. I'll be mixing quite a bit together. Let's see. What an interesting project this is going to be. I'll be having little bits of antique stuff and some of my contemporary work. So who knows where it's going to go. Looking forward to it. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay tuned for my week 19 and 20 bookmaking from Roxy's Weekly Channel videos coming up soon. Thank you. Bye for now.